Alright, welcome back to another video with the 61. Putting in more work today. As you can see, I've already pulled off this side trim piece that used to be sitting there. If you come over here, I'm working on that one. Couldn't get one bolt out. But the goal for today's video is to pull ultimately that side panel off. Well, these two front quarters off. And then probably start working on getting some of this stuff out of the way. Because remember, I originally said I was just going to pull the box off the thing, leave it, paint that part of the frame. Well, after some deliberation and some thinking, I've decided, well, it's all coming off and we're going straight down to the frame and we're going to do all of the whole entire frame, make it all look new again and real nice. So we're going there. It's a wee bit windy today. As you can also see, that's right, my shaft is out. Got the drive shaft out, panhard bar is off, the shocks are off. I attempted to, and I tried doing a little bit of straightening of the frame here. It didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. It's better, but it's not perfect. It still needs a little bit of a touch-up. At some point, hopefully this year, I'm going to get a rear axle for this thing. But yeah, we're busy. We got a lot of stuff to do. Got to start prepping the cab to come off. Taking the quarters off, this front off, these bars off. We've got a lot to do. Not a lot of time. Summer's starting to ramp up, starting to get things done. So with that being said, let's just jump right into today's video because I got a lot of stuff ahead of me. So we're going to get going on this. The project's moving right along. I know in the last video I said I was pretty sure I was at the point where I didn't have to pull anything off of this and I was done. But plans change. They always do when you're doing builds. Never fails. But yeah, transmission seems to be in good health. All the gears seem good. I did a little bit of shifting and looking at that last night. That appears to be good, which is awesome. Good to know. There's a lot of, I think, salvageable parts that came off of this. Some that aren't, don't get me wrong, but I think there are definitely some that are salvageable that I am going to be able to turn around and sell off of it. And then the money from them will probably just go right back into it for other parts. So with that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. We're going to move into a time lapse real quick of me starting to pull off these side panels. I got that one panel over there to deal with, but I'm going to deal with that off camera. It's not that important. But I'm going to hop to time lapse of me doing this, and I will see y'all at the end of it, and we'll catch back up with you then. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in the moment we were waiting for, all the bolts should be off. Should be able to take this thing off now. So let's give it a go. There we are. Woo! I don't know where y'all can see that. Woo-wee! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is a quarter panel off of a 61 Apache. Now it's got some kind of bodywork filled thing here. This needs to be cleaned up pretty well. As you can see, as usual, the bottom piece here has been crumpled and does need, from probably about here, needs to be replaced. So, that I didn't think it would get away with, so we knew that. Some gaskets and stuff have to be replaced. But other than that, she's in pretty dang good shape. So we'll get going. You kind of saw the process of taking this one off. There's all the bolts on the top and some of the underneath. I guess I'll show the process on the other side, and then I'll catch back up with y'all when I've got that other one off, because there's no point in me doing another time lapse, because they kind of get boring and a little bit old after a while. So I think I'm going to keep this one off and hit it with the water tonight, clean it up a little bit, make it look nice again. So I'm just going to leave that over here for now, and then I will meet y'all on that side. There's supposed to be a bolt here. Mine don't have them, but there's, I don't think there's another one. So there's 1, 2, 3. These 4 bolts on the top here, which are fairly easy. These are all 1/2 inch. And then you've got this bolt and this bolt back here. These are, what are they? These are 9/16. Yeah, these ones are 9/16 and have washers on them. And then in here, if I can get it to focus, so we've got up here, this one kind of caught me off guard, was right up in there. Let's see if I can get y'all to see that. Right up in there, you can kind of see that little bolt head right there that it's focused on. There's a little bolt, it's a bit of a pain to get to it. There's a bolt head right there, that's a 1/2 inch, and then just behind that one, there's another one, and that one's actually an 11/16. So the one up front is a 1/2 inch, the one in the rear is an 11/16, and then you have 1, 2, 3. These 3 that are on this side here, these are 1/2 inch as well, facing this way, and then you have another 1/2 inch facing the other way down at the bottom there. And then that's all on the front front of it, and then you got to go back here, and on the other side, I pulled, let's see, where is it? This bolt here off, if it'll focus on it. I pulled this bolt here off. You don't have to, that's just for this. I needed to on the other side because this thing's crumpled on the other side, so I have to replace this, so I took it off so I could take this off. I did that by accident actually, but it's a good thing I did. Don't have to take this bolt off if you're just taking this front quarter panel off. And then down here, you have another, here, that's a terrible angle. Down here, you have another 11/16 bolt back there. And then, if I remember correctly, I thought there was one more. No, that's it. Never mind. That's it. So that's all the bolts that you need if you're wondering on how to get one of these quarter panels off. Those are all the bolts that you need to take off to get one of these off. I do recommend either having to get this close 1/2 inch that's like right up in here. I do recommend a either like a crow's foot on like a 1/2 inch or like 3/8 like breaker bar like this. I don't have one, so I just went real old school with the little 1/4 inch drive, and then basically what some people call a cheetah bar, some might call it a snipe, and one of those on it, because it makes it's a bit of a pain to get anything else but one of those in there, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, it's actually quite easy, quite nice. Yeah, the 4 on the top, not bad once you lube them up. I got some other small stuff that I'm going to be doing today. Like I'm going to maybe try and get, I don't know about the inner fender wells off, but like I'm going to start pulling some of the other accessories off the firewall, like maybe that. Maybe looking at getting this whole front clip off. But for now, we got this whole fender off here. I didn't really give you guys a close-up, but really nice in all here. Like I said, I'm getting prepped. I'm probably going to take these bumper mounts off. I'm getting prepped to get all of this off the cab so I can refinish this frame. Things are going along fairly smoothly. I've only snapped a couple bolts here and there. All of this is going to get washed up later tonight. Yeah. With that being said, if you want to see more of this content, I may, actually, you know what, I'm not going to end the video here, because if I do anything else miscellaneous, I'm going to pick it up and let you guys know. I'm not quite sure how far I'm going to get tonight, but I have lost the bar on the camera, and I don't want it to die before I can do an update on all the progress that I've made. So I guess I will see y'all when I have my progress update, when we go to end this video. And I guess I'll see y'all then. I might have done a little bit. Yeah, we did a lot actually. So not only did I pull the fenders off, I went a little bit further today. As you could obviously tell. I pulled off the entire front fascia, and also the inner fenders. It is now just this, and all I have left to do to get down to bare frame is pull this cab off. That is it. That is the last thing we need to do before this thing is down to frame, and we can start a rebuild process. Actually, that's a lie. We gotta pull the engine trans, all of that stuff, get it up on blocks, start taking everything off so we can get it repainted, everything done from scratch, from the frame. I'm just gonna walk over here. There's the fascia, a little trim piece, if it'll focus here. As you can see, the little trim piece there. I've got the piece that sat behind it there, and then both quarter panels, and then the inner fenders here for the fronts. But I will say, I don't know if you can see it, I don't know if the video will do it justice here, but oh yeah, it will. Woo! Yeah, that got camber, bro. Got camber? Yeah, that wheel's a little slanted. I could tell, especially when we put this on, these do not have proper offset or anything. These would specifically just to get this thing moving and out of the field that it was in. But as you can see down there, that grease nipple is really, really close to that tire. Yeah, well, down there, let me get in here for you. That was the weight for the tire. If it'll... There was a weight for the tire here. There we go. And as you can see, it's been polished down really smooth because that grease nipple and not proper spacing. So make sure your wheels are good before you try and use them and put them on your vehicle, people. But I will say, dang, does it look good right now, especially from this angle. And being in a 1961 two-wheel drive, it is independent front suspension. That started back in the 1960s. The 1960 two-wheel drive Chevy pickup was the first Chevy to get independent front suspension. The four-wheel drives, they were a lot more rare. They were still solid front axle, but the independent front suspension has been being used by Chev since 1960. I guess that's probably why they are so good at it. But it looks super good. I got a couple things to finish up tonight that you'll see in next video. You won't see that, but I have to get all of this like crud off the back here, just all this old oil and everything. That's all crudded up. I got to get all of that off, and then I'm going to go around and I'm just going to lube up all of these with some penetrating fluid. All these bolts on like the generator here, starter back there, because I got to start pulling all of that stuff off in preparation for the engine coming out, because that stuff's just added weight to the engine, and we're taking this out by manpower, so I kind of like to have that out. Actually, I didn't do a video on it, but I pulled the oil out of it. Well, oil, I guess, in quotations, oil. There was no oil in the oil pan. It was just water, and there's really good evidence of that right there on the side of the engine, where the frost plug is non-existent, to be quite honest with you. It kind of messed up. Yeah, it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. But I guess that's where I'm going to cap this video. Wiring harness is out. It's down to bare bones. We're getting really close. Really close. Super pumped for this. Broke off a couple bolts. That's to be expected. It's an old truck, sat in the field 50 years. But, that being said, I do hope y'all enjoyed. If you want to see more, you can always hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications, and you'll get notified when my next content goes live. Most likely with this thing. There's a chance it'll be with the O1, but most likely this thing, because this is like the biggest project that I'm undertaking, and it's just mind-boggling. I'm super proud that I'm able to take this, and that I am willing and up to the challenge to take this thing on, and actually get this thing back on the road. I know some people like to restore these things. I'm not. I'm just trying to get this thing on the road so that I can accomplish some goals with it that will hopefully be said in later videos that I'll go over when the time comes. But I do have goals for this thing. It's not going back factory. We've talked about this. It ain't going to be factory. It's going to be what it is. It's going back. I'm just budget building, getting it running right now. Whilst doing some little small things here and there. Like, I might get this frame fixed up with one of the, as you can see here, one of the mounts for the front bumper is actually, like, broke off, which kind of sucks. And then the other one over here is actually cracked, which is, if it'll focus here, it's getting kind of dark out, so the camera's having some problems, so I'm trying to wrap this up quick for y'all. So that actually got cracked, don't know when, that got cracked, yeah, so I gotta get that fixed up, and then it's probably going to be sending this frame once it's all stripped down and good again, probably off to powder coat. That's one of those things that it's something I want to do in the long run, and I really don't feel like taking this truck once it's getting it to its final stages where everything's prepped and pulling the cab, the bed, and all this front stuff off again. I'd rather just leave all of that, so I'd rather just take it, strip it to the frame now, powder coat it, and just get it over with. Because then it's not a hassle later on. But with all that being said, I won't bore you with any more information. I will talk more about some of this stuff in upcoming videos. We've got a lot of content coming with this thing, I have to say. I have a lot of stuff that I need to get done. A lot of stuff, actually, now that I think about it. Especially in the stripping part. But hopefully this year we'll be able to start putting some things back into it. It might be just some small things, but I'm hoping to be able to start putting some things back into it. But with that being said, hope you guys did enjoy. Comment what you want to see more of. If you're enjoying this build, if you're enjoying this whole series, let me know. I'd quite appreciate it. Give it a like if you actually enjoyed this content. It'd be awesome. Really appreciate it. Helps support the channel. Helps keep me motivated and keeps me doing all of this. It's going to get done one way or the other. I'm just really glad that I'm able to share and show this all with you guys. So with that being said, I hope you all have a really good night and have a wonderful rest of your day or whenever it is that you're watching this or whatnot. Have a good one, y'all. See ya.